What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com, coming back to you with another video. And in this video, I want to share with you how I got fired and why I got fired at Savers. So I'm going to wait for some people to pop on in right now. Hopefully we're all having an amazing day so far. And I can promise you right now that this is going to be a valuable video because I ran a poll to my audience the other day on Instagram and we had like 500 or 600 responses, and most people who follow my channel, most people in the comments right now are actually working a job and reselling part-time. So we got Jason White in the house, we got Eric, we got Cynthia, we got Heather the reseller. I opened my YouTube and didn't click on the video and it opened anyways. It's because it's good clickbait. This is a fun video, guys. So the title of this video is I got fired at Savers. I got fired at Savers. So the reason I put that title was to get you guys in this video, but there's a good purpose for it. If you guys saw my video on April 1st, I actually made a April Fool's video talking about how I had a job at Savers. But the reason I make this video is because a lot of people, they didn't like the fact that I was kind of playing a joke talking about getting a job. And there's a lot of people who are very prideful who don't think that you should work a job. They think you should go full-time into thrifting, garage sales, selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, and you need to be on one side or the other. And the fact is, it doesn't have to be that way. If you're working full-time right now, you could break your way into reselling part-time. You do not have to go full-time. And for some people, it's actually better to work full-time or work part-time and then resell on the side, because there's definitely a lot of pros and cons that go into it. Ray says I work for full-time and flip part-time. So if you're working full-time or you're working part-time right now and you're trying to break your way into reselling, or maybe you just got fired, or maybe you're working full-time and you want to get started, this video is going to be for you. Because, you know, 5 years ago I was working full-time at the Cracker Barrel. I only had couple $100. Actually, I was like $23,000 in debt, but I had a couple $100 cash on me, and I was working full-time, was able to pretty much move into being a full-time reseller entrepreneur within about a year's period. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Again, I don't have a job at Savers. I've never worked at Savers, but there were so many people who were messaging me about that vehicle. The vehicle is a Corvette, about that video. And I had to come to you guys with another clickbait video, but I can promise you that I've got a lot of value in here. So if you are working right now full-time and you're looking to move into reselling part-time or reselling full-time, one of the number one things that you're going to need to do is just get your business started. You've got to start sourcing. You've got to start listing items. You got to start going out there and getting things moving. So many people want to go from 0 to 100 overnight. And the simple fact remains is if you want to be an Amazon seller, an eBay seller, if you want to be successful on it, whether it's making $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month, you have to get started. Every successful reseller that you follow, from Rockstar Flipper to Bonafide Hustler to Rally Roots, so on and so forth, started with nothing, started not making any money. They were in different industries. And if you want to start getting some results, you've got to start going out there to thrift stores, to garage sales, placing some wholesale orders, whatever it is that you're knowledgeable about, and you need to get started, right? Now, a big reason why most of my audience, over 120,000 people follow me, most of them are part-time. The reason is, this is a simple fact, most people, and a lot of you guys watching right now, suck really bad at managing your finances. You just spend money, you make money, you don't really track your income, you don't really track your expenses, your bookkeeping's pretty bad, you're probably paying more than you should be in taxes, and you're just not managing your money. You don't have any automated transfers from one bank into your savings account. You don't have an emergency fund. You're kind of just going out there just trying to pay your bills and make it happen. And it's true, if you want to become a full-time reseller, if you really want to make that transfer over, you've got to get your finances in line. So you've got to put a savings plan in place, right? That's a big thing. But even more important than that, you've got to track your expenses. I want to know who here actually goes through their credit card statements, their PayPal statements. Who here is actually tracking all of their expenses? How much money are you spending eating out? How much money are you spending on meals and entertainment? How much money are you spending on stupid stuff? How much money are you spending on clothes? How much money are you spending, right? I want to know that right now, because when you're trying to quit your job, or you're trying to start that business, or you're trying to, really the overall goal of starting a reselling business is to build your net worth at the end of the day. Whether that's to quit your job or to support your family or have a better lifestyle, you want to build your net worth. Most resellers don't have a net worth. Most resellers might have a couple $1,000s or less, but very few resellers that I meet who are selling on eBay or selling on Amazon have more than $20,000. Very few. Over 100,000, you're looking at probably like the 1%, because a lot of resellers are making money, but they're not investing it properly. They're not saving it. They don't have an emergency fund. They're not checking their credit card statements. They're not investing it like I had mentioned. And investing is probably a little outside of the scope right now, but you've got to reduce your expenses. Figure out where you're spending all your money. For me, it was eating out. Right? I was spending a lot of money eating out. I was spending money on cigarettes. I was spending money on weed and alcohol. I was spending money on just stupid stuff, and I had to reduce my expenses, because I can tell you right now, and I think I got my boy coming up. Let me see. Hold on. What's going on, brother? Coming on in?
Yep.
I'm live on YouTube right now. You wanna be on the video?
Sure.
So actually, this is my barber. I'm in front of the barbershop right now. We got 115 people watching.
Nice.
I have a YouTube channel. I teach people about like selling on eBay, Amazon, entrepreneurship.
All right.
And yeah, he just gave me a nice cut.
And he's driving a Corvette, so he must know what he's talking about.
Yeah, so I was talking to people about how a lot of people, they're starting a business and they're making money. Maybe they even have a job full time and they're looking to transfer over to like starting a business, but they're not tracking their income, their expenses. They're spending money like me. I spend all my money on cigarettes, on weed, on
Yeah, been
freaking
there.
stupid shit, you know what I mean?
Been there. No, that's great, man. That's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta save that money though.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say too is once you have like $5,000 saved up, or 10,000 or 20, like you could start to make a move, because when you're broke as a joke and you only have like $500 or $1,000
Yes.
in your bank, you can't make a move because you're like in the poverty mindset.
Yes. That's the tricky part about getting into the business, is finding the money to put in, because let's be honest, money makes money. So it's really, really difficult to open the door when you've got pennies. So
Do you
but
own
it doesn't
this
take much.
Do you own this barbershop?
I
or-
do, yeah.
Yeah.
I sure do. So luckily, I was able to have somebody that was invested with me, who knew that it was a good business, and made the right decisions. It's been 9 years now. The shop's doing the best it's ever done, and yeah, it's great.
How is the barbershop business actually?
I love my business.
So you pretty much, you're here, you have a chair obviously, and then you rent out the other chairs to...
Yes, yeah, we rent out the chair. We do a chair fee, so the other two guys pay their chair fees. And, everything else goes in their pocket. So since they're subcontracted, they're their own business. Do they work at Star Barbershop? Yes.
Yeah.
But they do all their taxes and everything on their own. They pay their chair fee, and they have their own customers, and
That's
that's
cool.
the way it works. Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to pay rent on the building though, I'm assuming, because you don't own the building, right?
No, the building's actually up for sale. That's something that we're looking into about buying it. Makes things a little bit easier, but whenever you're buying real estate, you got to make sure you know what you're getting into. So
Yeah,
there's some things to do before we make that move. So.
That's cool. Yeah, I just purchased my first multifamily actually down the road right now.
Smart.
So like I'm learning all about it
Smart.
and learning about the tenants and
Are you living in it?
yeah. So
That's smart.
So I'm living on
Very
one
smart.
because it's my first property, but I had to sink like I put 25% down just because I didn't want to like leverage myself right now.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with like 70 grand for it. But right now, mortgage, taxes, insurance is like $1,250. No, $1,350, and my tenant pays $1,200. So I'm literally like right now with my income and like my business, like I could have went out and got a nice $500,000 house and been living large. But now my back's against the wall. Now I have to scurry and make all these crazy decisions. And like when you have your bills are lower and your expenses, like that's why most people have money. Like they're not out spending money like crazy people because it puts you in this like
no, it's that's a smart way to do it, man. Getting into a house that pays for itself is genius. Unfortunately, that wasn't an option for me. But that's,
but his story, I'm not going to put you on the spot right now, but he actually has a really inspiring story because I came into the barbershop and I'm like, dude, and I hope I didn't freak you out at first, but I'm like, dude, you're like super fit, like, because I'm like into working out and stuff. I'm like, no, not like that, man, but like,
I hear you.
He's obviously, obviously in your upper 30s, 37, and most people who are like past 35 are like fat, out of shape, and miserable. And I was like, damn, this dude's like a little older than me and looks amazing. And I was like, what's your story and secret? And like, man, this guy's changed his life completely.
I have, and we will. I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, another time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, man.
No worries. I just wanted to come and say, beautiful car, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate it,
That's
man.
awesome, man. I'm going to grab my lunch.
All right, dude.
Nice talking to you.
All right.
Take it easy, brother.
I'll see ya. So yeah, that was my barber right there. That was funny. I'm sitting in front of the barber shop right now, and I see him looking at my car, and I'm like, all right, let's freestyle this right now. But yeah, you know, if you want to get into reselling, selling on eBay, Amazon, maybe you want to start a barber shop. I don't know what it is you want to do. Reduce your expenses as much as you possibly can. You've got to manage your finances, because if you could be making 5, 6, 7, 10. I know people who make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, but their expenses are so high. The more money they make, the more they buy. You know, obviously I'm in a Corvette right now, but I paid cash. So, you know, I had the money, I paid cash. So a lot of people, you know, they buy all these things, but then they finance it and leverage themselves like crazy. And then their back's against the wall. So if you do want to buy something, I kind of live by the Dave Ramsey philosophy to an extent, and just pay cash for it, right? Because then I don't have to worry about the financing and paying triple, right? The Grant Cardone rule is my goal: 40, 40, 20, save, invest 40 taxes, eat 40, and live off the remaining 20. Super cool. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with financing, but like if you're gonna go out and buy something super nice, like for me, like, you know, I'm just kind of starting my career, and I've been just starting to have success over the last couple of years. It wasn't, I didn't want to finance it just because it was like a mindset type of thing for me. What's up, Thrift to Flip? Adam's Exploits, good to see ya. So I want to know right now, put an F in the comment if you're a full-time reseller, or put a P in the comments if you're a part-time reseller. I want to know, because based on my Instagram poll, most of you guys were part-time. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of P's coming in right now. And when I put out that video the other day on April Fool's saying I got a job, a lot of people were disappointed in me. And I know a lot of people who are just getting started who are working jobs, and people criticize them and they say you should just jump full-time into it. And I don't think there's anything wrong, even though I didn't get a job, I was just screwing with you guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a job, because, you know, starting your own business, starting to sell on eBay and Amazon, it takes time, and there's a lot to it, and you're wearing a lot of hats, and it definitely takes some time to have success. And, you know, you've got to put food on your table, and I think at first the best thing you can be doing is saving as much money as you possibly can to make a move, and also move yourself out of that poverty mindset, right? Because I was in that poverty mindset my whole life, and once I had crossed, I was actually giving this advice to my friend the other day. I said, once I crossed, I think like $10,000 or $20,000 in savings, I actually had $20,000 in my bank, you're able to kind of take a step back, right? When you only have a couple $1,000s in your bank, you're like grinding, like you're working, you never stop. Yes, I am going to eBay Open, Adam, and it's kind of hard for you to ask yourself the question, hey, is my ladder up against the right building? And I've used this analogy before. Maybe the top of that building has an income potential or a certain result, but you've got to ask yourself the question, am I doing the best I possibly can? Should I do things a little differently? And right now in my business, just because I make a lot of money from things that are outside of reselling, sometimes I don't work very much. I'm just thinking, or I'm strategizing. And I talked about this in another video. I believe that once you get to a certain point, all you need to do is make a couple really good moves to keep growing your business, right? So that might be a little outside of the scope of this video, but that's just from my experience, right? But yeah, hopefully you guys found value in this video. What's up, Christina? Good to see you guys. We have a lot of part-timers, some full-time resellers in the house, but most people are part-time. It's not easy to go full-time. It's definitely doable. Hey, what do you guys think? So I literally shaved my head, right? I want to talk about this real quick. As a man, sometimes you're going to have insecurities, and one of the things that I was really insecure about was my hairline. It was really bad. So I decided to shave the whole thing off, and I just feel like invigorated. I feel the confidence. I probably look somewhat like an alien a little bit, because I feel like when guys shave their head, they kind of look weird at first, but I love it. I don't know. I feel freaking fantastic right now. Paul loves the head. I'm sure you do, Paul. Looks like you're Breaking Bad. That's right. I like it better the other way. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I think it's up to the individual, right? I think you got to go with your intuition. If you have a gut feeling and intuition that says, you want to know what? I got to start an eBay business. I got to start an Amazon business. I cannot live with just working this day job or that night shift or whatever. I got to start something up on my own. Plant that seed, right? Get started. If you've got that intuition saying, you know what? I got to shave my head. You go ahead and shave that head. Tanya says, as long as you love it. I do. Oh, Christina says, looking hotter than ever. Uh-oh. This YouTube channel is about to get crazy. Appreciate it, guys. So, yeah, at the end of the day, the main point I really wanted to get across, outside of all the different things we were talking about, is start to manage your finances. A couple things off the top. Check your credit card statements, right? Make sure that you are checking your bank statements every month. These are very basic, simple things that most people don't do. You've got to keep an eye on where your money is going. Where are you spending your money? One of the things that I set up early on was I created an auto transfer from one of my accounts to another account into a kind of like an emergency fund. So I had money automatically going into my emergency fund to get that fund up to $10,000. And then I started having auto transfers going into a savings account. And now I've advanced it to where I have auto transfers going into my Vanguard retirement account. So I actually have a, after today, because I'm going to be putting $43,000 into my Vanguard account, I'm going to have over $100,000 in my retirement account, which is really cool because less than 2 years ago I had zero in my retirement account. So I'm actually investing that into my SEP IRA. So that is a retirement account for self-employed individuals. And the reason why I'm putting $43,000 into my SEP IRA is it's actually reducing my taxes by about $10,000. So this year I paid probably somewhere over $100,000 in taxes just based on my income. And once you get a SEP IRA, you can actually put money into it to reduce your overall tax liability. Obviously, talk to your accountant. That's who I talk to. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my advice, but talk to somebody because it's going to differ based on your income and your tax bracket and your situation. But you obviously can't touch that money until I think you're 65 or something. So it's kind of like putting money in one pocket and moving it to another, but you can't touch it, so the money's not liquid, so it could hurt you. But I'm doing that. But yeah, set up auto transfers into your retirement account, because one day we are going to get old and we're not going to have the energy that we now do to work and earn income. So yeah, like No Name is saying, one step at a time to hit the top, baby. Connie Mitchell says that's good information. So I want to thank you guys for watching. One of my goals today was to make a video that added value to your guys' life. So hopefully I accomplished that. And I just want to say thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, like Adam's Exploit says, don't forget to smash that like button. Would definitely appreciate that. Really appreciate all you guys watching, and hopefully this was able to help you guys out. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.